Hey everyone, welcome to A Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 4 Conference Finals. I am Fear Agent, and joining me today is Claire Mouse, and we've got two of my favorite runners, two of my favorite people in this community playing like my least favorite mode. One of my least favorite modes. I hate this mode. Hard Randomizer. We're playing some Hard Randomizer. We've got Dante, the champion of the main tournament, versus Gamachu, the runner-up of the main tournament. So we've got a pretty high-profile race going on here. Claire Mouse, tell me about what we're watching.
Well, I mean, Fear, we're gonna watch what is probably gonna be one of the most exciting races, actually. Probably to date for a league. As you said, we have basically a rematch from the main tournament, Dante versus Gamma, and Dante, as we all know, ended up taking a 2-1 victory over Gamma. So Gamma's definitely looking to get some revenge here. And you mentioned that Hard Randomizer is probably one of your least favorite modes, countered by the fact that we have two of your favorite people. But you know what? It's all about balance, I guess, in this game, right? You got to have some good with the bad, right? So
Yeah,
here we
for
are.
sure.
It's
gonna be a lot of fun to watch. I think Randomizer is a lot more fun for spectators than it is for people to play. Like, we get to watch them suffer through some stuff, and hopefully it's not too bad, but we'll see.
Yeah, and okay. All right, so starting at Link's house, we got a glove already, so easy back of escape access already. And Dante, of course, already pressing his luck, already got his easy farm bomb, so he's going to be able to at least have one bomb to his name. And for Randomizer, right, one of the highest priorities, of course, at this point is going to be probably in order to find a permanent weapon. Ideally, we would have a sword. We're not going to say no to a hammer, but we're already kind of seeing all of the different variations or variances that we're going to find, basically, both in the overworld and the underworld, as well as the bosses.
Oh, a shovel. That actually might change the route a little bit. You might want to come from Kakariko from the south, maybe, to check that out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and actually the shovel, and so as you mentioned, Randomizer are going to have a lot of differences. Any type of earlier resources or any type of thing that you can basically try and do on the spur of the moment. For example, for that shovel, we could basically farm up some more bombs, some rupees. I was thinking it could be more useful than what it first might appear to be.
Yeah.
Also, quite the contrast, by the way. You said these were, winner and runner-up of the main tournament, right? So main tournament was standard, hard, right? Both of these guys got to be able to go through escape, using, a lot of their, I would say, like, more vanilla game knowledge. And here, basically just kind of throw all of that out the window. I think at this point, the only overlap is actually just the hard item pool. So, of course, Dante sporting his, green tunic, as well as Gamma. We're not going to see any more male upgrades this game. Nothing beyond Tempered Sword. But you know what? These guys have some experience with hard item pools, so it should be no problem for them.
We'll see.
We'll see. That's actually a good point. The number of deaths in Randomizer modes certainly have skyrocketed compared to basically non-Randomizer modes.
So Dante able to use that bomb to check the back of escape, though we didn't really have much there. And it looks like we had a pendant over at Eastern and 2 crystals over at Desert and Hera. So Gamma's saving Quinn out of the Lost Woods. This makes sense. This allows him to check that shovel if he wants. And, he's going to pick up bombs first. Maybe he goes check Saha's closet. Since Eastern is a pendant, less likely to go over there. So grab some bombs. Make sure you have bombs for Kakariko. He actually might go do South Shore after this.
Yeah, and this is actually a good point. And so, especially actually on this little horse being Randomizer, you really don't actually know what's going to pop up behind or underneath those bushes. Certainly have seen a good number of green and or blue guards basically just pop right underneath, and then you're basically stuck without any type of weapon. So it certainly could make sense that maybe Gamma's looking for a little bit more offensive or even defensive power before he kind of goes over there. Meanwhile, it looks like Dante, though, is exploring Lost Woods, getting through relatively unscathed, but also not really showing much progression. That floating skull is very dangerous. Yes, that was actually some pretty good maneuvering here on Gamma's side.
Yeah, those can get in the way. So Saha's closet gives us $20, 3 bombs, and a bow.
Ooh, Ooh,
Nice.
yeah, no, that is actually
So
really fun. Really
yeah, the
fun.
bow is really interesting in Randomizer because you know, logically it's still required for pod and Eastern and everything and GT, but it doesn't necessarily mean you need it in all those areas. We see sword and cane of Samaria on blindside and the
And the
flute.
flute, holy cow! All right, so
Wow.
Dancy's actually making a good call of his own. You know, going to Kakariko, he's got a lot of. He's already got that flute ready to go. Activate, ready to go. Basically, trying to activate that in Kakariko, but it's going to be some early mobility. And not only that, we have our first permanent weapon of the game.
Yeah, their boomerang actually is really nice as well in Randomizer.
Yeah, so boomerangs are definitely going to be a bit more powerful because you, as you said, don't know really what's going to come at you, and you know, and if you're reacting to something and you can stun it, it's certainly going to be a lot safer for you. Also, going to be able to check the stun prize sooner rather than later.
Ooh, 2
Offense,
swords.
yeah, offensive power in Kakariko. You know, good thing Gamma is basically hot on Dante's heels. He is going to just get the swords basically in reverse order.
Yeah, luckily none of our runners are going to skip Kakariko.
Yes.
So I think we're safe there. Dante not activating the flute as he walks by with the flute in hand. So
hopefully
he remembers.
Yes.
Chicken nut can always be fun. Oh,
Dude,
not today.
what on earth, man?
Not today.
I don't understand. You know, so this is actually quite the contrast with I think it was Nep and her Randomizer seat. Wow, what the heck? So Nep's chicken house was so well guarded that she couldn't even basically make it through. Dancy, on the other hand, all 5 vanilla chickens with a tempered sword in the back, dude. I guess Dante decided to steal basically all the luck from Nep at that point.
Well, the fun is getting sucked right out of this seed with 3 swords in Kakariko.
Yeah, I mean, well, the fun's getting sucked up for us. I think these guys
Sure,
are probably going to be like, oh, thank goodness, we finally basically are able to take whatever we want on Temper Sword. So I guess all we're left to look for is going to be those boots.
Yeah, all right, so Gamma going to get his stuff here. He's going to pick up his 3 swords. Hopefully he can handle the chicken house. Dante going to give us our final look at Kakariko in the well here. We've got a bottle. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate because now he's going to have to go back and check sickage.
It's just probably a little bit of backtracking, so
yeah.
not going to be a big deal.
Hoping to flute away right away, though. The bug net actually is not bad. The book, man, this Kakariko is stacked.
Wow, yeah, no, this was definitely a place to go sooner rather than later. You've got all your mobility. You can basically do everything here in Kakariko in one trip. You got the bottle, and you know, you can see actually Dante is actually heading his way back over. No boots means we're going to do a little bit of backtracking, walking, but, you know, it's not too far in this case.
Now, I wonder when it is Dante does Saha, because he's got, you know, I imagine we're going to see like, well, I guess it depends on when we get Dark World access. We still need a Moon Pearl and either a glove and a hammer still. So
yeah. I mean, so like you did mention that Eastern, you know, we can actually see this on a tracker thanks to, of course, Bandman today doing all the tracking for us, clicking all the buttons, and you know, yeah, we can see that you know Eastern Palace is a pendant. In this particular case, I mean, it is still some sort of light source lock, right? Probably most likely it's going to be the lamp in order to get to the back. But logically speaking, we do need the bow. But the enemies, though, because they're enemies, there's not going to be any hard requirement basically for that bow. The double readies right before the boss is actually not going to be basically requiring the bow in this case in order to get through.
Yeah.
However, our runners are still in 3 hearts. Dark rooms and Randomizer, quite dangerous, certainly not recommended, and because this is going to be chaos boss shuffle, we don't actually know what's going to be behind there, so you know, probably not going to be, you know, high on our runners' priorities in order to try and make their way back there.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up his flute and Samaria boomerang, and then I'll have to walk back out and activate it.
Now, Dante looks like he actually went to the dam. He got his, we see our very first green 20 already, and because we already found 3 swords, you know, actually that could be our 4th sword. We don't know.
Yeah, either male or, at this point, it can't be a heart, so it's either the male upgrade or another sword, which is pretty funny.
Actually, yeah, this would be a pretty hilarious layout, actually, if all 4 swords basically just like out in, what, sphere 1 or 0, or what do you want to consider this?
All right, so what's going to come next?
Do you think, after basically this, Dante's gonna make his way over to South Shore? Or no, not South Shore, Ice Rock Cave with that flute?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I mean, so he is, kinda short on Zora money. I mean, we see basically what we find here. Maybe he puts it a little bit closer. Another crit 20,
Another 20. Okay, so either both males or 4 swords.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
pretty, yeah. And so Dante right now is also kind of at the point, those Creed 20s are actually kind of helping him out because, he's gotten just a little bit closer to Zora money. Both Gamma and Dante have the gloves. And so there is a cave out here that has 20 rupees in there, so I'm kind of curious to see if you want to farm for
it's
it.
possible. I don't know. Definitely less incentivized to do any fake flippering without the moon pearl though.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, oftentimes this is actually a very good reminder, Fear, is that in order to basically get back to your water walking state, you actually do need the moon pearl without the boots, and would be pretty unfortunate if either runner basically makes their way over there and can't get waterfall fairy.
Yeah. Okay, so let's think about what we have left. We've got some checks in Eastern that are available. Dante gonna probably get his bow now. Oh yeah, we got the mushroom to turn in.
Right, yeah, that's true.
There's one item on the top of the mountain, Speck Rock, we can check. Agina, and then the front, and then escape. That's basically what we've got.
Right.
Oh, there's our moon pearl.
Okay, we're definitely not safe scumming that mushroom today.
Yep.
Moon pearl 100% required.
All right, Clear Mouse, where's our Dark World progression?
Where's our Dark World? You know what? I'm gonna say that the lamp is just somewhere in desert, and then we're gonna go do Aga. We have basically 4 swords at this point.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Aga in Randomizer this early would be pretty fun to watch. I mean, they have Tempered Sword, but they are only on 3 hearts.
3 hearts, yeah. And, of course, all the enemies are shuffled, and it's certainly not going to be any easier. Gamma! Oh, is he going to do Zora, you think? He's pretty close.
I think he's going to turn in that mushroom first. Again, like, you don't want to fake flipper without the moon pearl. And just a heart piece inside Speck Rock, so the answer is not the mountain. For Dante, Saha has 3 items. So, and they're quick. Yeah. This makes sense.
Yeah, no,
he might head in Eastern after this as well. It actually is a little bit, I think you're a little bit more incentivized to head in Eastern since it is a pendant.
Assuming he doesn't die on his way to Saha first. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's one of these floating skulls here too, so just gotta make sure
you navigate.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so it's like dancing those kind of working on his sidestep maneuvering, but makes it at least into Saha safely. He just has to make sure he also doesn't get blown up by the bomb that he just placed down. Jeez.
Yeah. All right, so it's not Desert Ledge. Gamma slowly walking into Agina. I'm actually a little surprised he doesn't go into desert first.
Oh my gosh.
I guess because he doesn't have the mirror. Man, the lag on there.
Yeah, that is actually amazing. So I guess that's one of the unfortunate downsides of Randomizer. While it is very entertaining, we can actually see that the sprite overloading on the screens.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like anti-boots at that point, right? It's like if you can much slower than 1 pixel. Nope.
All right, there's a heart container in Agina's cave. Gamma not going into desert. Dante is making the call. Let's see if that early book pays off. Let's see where Gamma goes from here. It looks like he's going to do the front of escape instead. Okay. Now we know there's an item in Dirt Cross.
Yeah,
we found the key and the map already.
Right. Yeah, and of course, without a fire source, it's not going to be super incentivizing for our runners. But Gamma can actually just find the fire source, right? Right here, basically in the front of escape.
All right, so also desert's not boots locked, though. Well, at least to get to the back, but no fire source, and the right side is actually boots locked.
Yeah, and so that's actually also something I might put on.
What is that?
I don't even know.
That was a thief, I think, but it is a mutated thief. All right, another green 20.
Okay, all right. So I think we have confirmation at this point that all.
There it is.
Well, wait. What did Gamma find? Oh, he found a lamp. All right. Okay. All right. So it looks like Dante is going to go to the back. No, he can't get to the back. Maybe he just want to do Agina or check the ledge.
He checked the ledge. I think he's probably going to do a Gina here. Now, we didn't get the compass. It's on the right side or on the boss, so we don't know which boss is in the back of desert. If Gamma goes there, it's possible that he could kill whatever is back there, but we don't know for sure. Dante's taking his laggy trip to a Gina escape.
Yeah, but I think in this case, Dante ended up beating Gamma just because he took like a slightly northern route, basically over.
So let's see what Gamma wants to do here after this. Unfortunately, killing that thing means he's not going to check Dark Cross.
Yeah, that actually saw also a maybe
which is in logic, by the way, with that lamp.
Yeah, that is true. But of course, that is actually one of the changes in Randomizer. Typically speaking, you would in a non-Randomizer vanilla enemies, right? You would always have that green guard to kind of help you death warp out, because it always does half a heart of damage to you. But you know, in this case, it's been morphed into a Popo, and yeah, Gamma was definitely not interested in trying to death warp out of that. Speaking of Randomizer caves, good thing we have that lamp. Not exactly going to be the most pleasant in order to try and rescue the old man in that.
I think for the most part, old man is pretty easy, as most of the enemies spawn inside the cave walls. So you don't really have to worry about most enemies.
I do see some bombers in the distance.
Yeah, they could cause some trouble for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, luckily, at least, you know, Gamma did end up picking up some health kind of along the way. So,
oh boy.
Wait, did we just miss out on Dante's part? Oh no, he fluted. That's right.
Yeah,
he fluted up. Yeah. All right. So Dante, hopefully with that mirror, is gonna go back and rescue the old man, because that mirror is gonna basically give Gamma a bit more access. Like, for example, Crystal Hera is on the table now.
Yeah. This is the part about Randomizer, though. It's like Desert's available, Eastern's available, Hera's available, but can you beat any of them? We don't really know.
We definitely don't know. Gamma, I can certainly see him basically giving it at least a shot to see. Not only, of course, he has Ether Tablet, because we did pick up that book. But and I guess another new feature about at least an Randomizer, if we end up finding the compass within the dungeon, it'll tell you, in this case, what the boss is up top. So maybe the compass in this case will come sooner rather than later, and then Gamma will basically just be able to map check to see what boss he's going to face before actually having to climb the entire tower.
Looks like we've got pendants at Swamp and TR, with TR being our green pendant.
Okay, interesting.
Mizermeyer is our other 5/6. Dante is going to give us Dark Cross. This could be big. He does have a fairy in this bottle.
Is he going to give us Dark Cross?
Oh, there's the flippers on Ether Tablet.
All right. So Dante joining the Fairy Revival Club that was very popular, I believe, in both SGL and the main tournaments. Gonna chalk one up, another one for a league. Maybe this should be like one of those, like Girl Scout or Boy Scout badges, right? Every time that happens, you get another one on your sash.
So that means, wow, both of them skipping out on Dark Cross, and maybe that's why Gamma didn't do it, is he knew he had that fairy and wanted to save it for later. We see the big key, so we'll climb, and there's the first item.
Okay, yeah, so no knowledge of the boss quite yet, but we're basically going to see, at least we're going to look at least for a second item. Hopefully we're going to be there sooner.
So the big difference right here is Dante's been into desert, didn't get any items, but was there. And he just picks up his mirror. He'll get his flippers here in a second. I imagine we'll be joining Gamma in Hera. This is a rabbit trail if I've ever seen one. Like as stacked as Kakariko was, it's like get this to get this to get this.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good point, because we found so many nice things, but they didn't immediately open up like the next piece of progression. All right, so I think Gamma did a map check for a boss, and was that
Cold Stare?
Cold Stare. Okay, so that is not going to happen today, or at least not now.
Okay, so do you go to the basement? There's still one item. This is a call. I mean, it could just be the map, right? Like this could be the map. Gamma's doing it, so it's going to be progression. Don't worry.
All right, okay, you called it fear. We're going to hold you to your name, and basically a minute later, we're going to see what ends up happening.
I've done enough races with Gamma that I know that he's not doing this for nothing.
Well, so you did mention that the Turtle Rock was a pendant today. So how is I don't know how strong Gamma's ice rod hunting skills are, but they may not be necessary
Clear
in this
Mouse,
speed.
let me remind you of something. This is Randomizer.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually you're right. You're right. In this case, it
Yeah.
is Chaos Boss Shuffle. Thank
Sure
you.
is.
All
Yeah.
right, maybe Gamma's gonna be able to flex some of his ice rod fighting abilities here.
All right, so let's take a look what Gamma is going to get. It's not the map. I'll tell you that much. It's not going to be the map. There's no way.
Okay, let's see what this is.
Okay, so
you know Gamma so well.
wasn't the map. So that means the second item here in Hera is got. You don't have to worry about. You can do Hera last now, basically.
Yeah,
so
that's actually really good. I mean, so it's something that you actually want, right? To be able to do Hera as your final dungeon, and then mirror right over from the Dark World, right?
Yeah.
And then do Ganon's Tower. All right, let's see in this case if Dante ends up making the same decision. We know that, of course, Gamma has his peace of mind along with his peace of heart that he ended up getting from Hera Basement, so he knows he doesn't have to go back. But, Dante, if he ends up skipping it, kind of the only real consequence is potentially the Hera Basement check that's still open on his mind.
If I know Dante's not doing Hera Basement.
These are your two favorite people of here, so I'm gonna definitely take your word for this. You know what? The fact he basically just statement quit right out, man. You are definitely 2 for 2. You know these guys so well.
All right, so Hobo gives us a blue potion, which is nice. Again, we're gonna continue on with these flipper checks. Do have Zora money.
And we have real flippers this time. No needs in this case of fake flipper. Not only it does save you quite a bit of time, we don't have to worry about getting hits while we're in the water. Typically, the fake flipper, if you get hit, it is almost lights out for you at that point.
Yeah.
But in this case, we have real flippers. We also don't have to worry about getting back into the flipper state if we end up getting a heart piece here.
Also, not surprising, Dante skipping out on Hobo. That doesn't surprise me either.
So he, in his last race, he went up early Hobo in Swordless, and he ended up getting boots out of it, so I don't know. Maybe,
but there's no boots there this time, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's, no, you're not wrong here. You bring up some pretty good points.
Yeah. All right, so $50 on the Zora Ledge. They actually might pick that up, because once you get to the Dark World, you are going to need a bit of cash.
Yeah, not only for Village of Outcasts, of course. We have some, chess game, dig game, of course. But more importantly, maybe, if we're interested in Palace of Darkness, we are going to have to pay that monkey 110 rupees.
All right, Zora, what do you have for us? Just $20.
Yeah, Gamma definitely even taking it. He's not giving it up.
Okay, so desert is boots locked, right? So that's not a good place for Gamma. I think. Do they pull the trigger and do Aga?
We are still missing a glove or hammer. Where is Dante going? Is this
doing Aga?
Is this Dark Cross or is this Aga?
Oh, he'll probably check Dark Cross first, but Aga seems like a good call. There's still 3 items that are fully in logic.
With Eastern Palace,
yeah, with Eastern Palace. But I think So when you get to the Dark World, you have Pod and you have Catfish.
You have Catfish.
There's no way to get across yet. We don't have the hook shot or a hammer.
And we don't even, of course, we don't have myths or anything like that, so it's not like Ice Palace is definitely out of the question. I guess we could still get like Hialeah Island. No, we can't even get over there. Never mind.
I also wonder if Gamma is going to go to the back of Desert because he might not be able to beat the boss there. And it's not in logic.
And the compass is on the right side, right? It's right, yeah. Oh man, that's a really long trek here. I mean, like he does have fire source in order to get over there. In order to access the boss, but yeah, as you said, it's quite the trip over to just find this out.
All right, so just $20. So we're down to Eastern or Aga. And Gamma mirrors. Yeah, that he's not going back. This makes sense because you know that it's boots locked, and you know that so you're not going to find the boots. It might not even be an item, and it might not even be a boss that you can clear. So here we go. We got some Aga. This is not a good start for us.
Yeah.
For us as viewers to the Aga
I
fight.
know, and it's like we were
I want to
talking about
see.
this.
Yeah, I want to see some bad stuff in here.
Yeah, we were talking about these guys maybe have to do Aga Tower on 3 hearts or something, and suddenly they've like ballooned to what a very hefty 7 hearts here. At least Dante's only got 4 climbing this thing.
Let's get some rollers in here. Let's get some Lionels in here.
Yeah, and actually I would say a major difference at this point is that Dante, having used up his fairy in the back of Escape, or sorry, at least in front of Escape, he has really only 4 hearts at this point to his name. Gamma, on the other hand, not only does he have a fairy, he ended up having that blue potion he picked up from Hobo, so I think Gamma is like basically just gonna cruise on through.
Yeah, I think both of them are gonna be fine. Gamma choosing to believe that Dark Cross does not exist. So either he forgot about it, or more likely he just says if something's there, then I'm never getting it.
That's very possible. Maybe he wants to try and get that, with boots maybe later. So at this point, it looks like both of our runners, of course, had not touched Eastern Palace, so there are 3 logical checks, and then really it is Hera Basement for Dante that's left unchecked, versus in this case Dark Cross for Gamma.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Hera Basement, of course. For Dante used that.
Oh my gosh, Dante! Out of all the swordless, practices and the seeds you completed, I cannot believe your ability to use the button.
Yeah,
needed like 5 tries in this course in order to catch the fairy. Or maybe he's just that good.
And the fairy wasn't even moving; he just couldn't get it. It was weird. It's too bad like Julo Ninja or Hitsu is not in this race, because we would know immediately what was in Eastern Palace.
That is, that is actually very true. I believe they have considered to be Eastern Palace is a pretty good hotspot.
Yeah, so
Dante, oh my gosh, good thing he caught the fairy. We are taking a tumble here. That spark is certainly not going to be your friend today.
Yeah, he's down to 1 heart. Do not fall here. Do not take it.
Also have a stealth post, basically tossing, whatever, a bone at him, and you can also knock him off. Same problem for Gamma. Oh no.
Both the runners. This is the fun part of Randomizer.
Yeah. Oh, Gamma also learning, or seeing that in this case arrows do not work on sparks. I guess luckily for them, there was no wall master kind of hiding in the shadows. In this case,
that would have been real bad.
Yeah, because it certainly could have been like the case where they get knocked down, and in their fall animation, the wall master just comes right in, and because this is the 1.0 version, layers don't exist. They could basically just take it, right back to the beginning. Okay, so the good news for Dante is that he is still not in 1-hit KO mode, assuming because I think those like blue balls only do half part of damage.
Yeah, and if you remember his trek with the fairy, he was able to catch it, so he does have that fairy, despite her not wanting to be captured.
Yeah. All right, so of course, Aghanim, for this particular scene, they're always seeded the same number of blue balls. So it's not like any runner's gonna have one advantage basically over another, not like basically the vanilla game.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to how many blue balls.
I also have not. I just figured they're just gonna go through the motions, and we're gonna basically find our way up to the Dark World.
Yeah, it looks like 2. All right, here we go into the Dark World. Dante does get that refill. Any desire to check Catfish first, or are you drawn to Eastern because of the bow? Dante, forgetting to check the ledge, jumps in.
I was actually,
time to Gamma.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, the fact that Dante actually only has 96 rupees to his name, I think I would actually be I would be more inclined for him in his shoes to try and go to Catfish, unless maybe he's gonna try and go for a tree pull and get money.
Yeah, I think. Oh,
nice.
There he goes. Nice.
All right, so no Catfish looks like today. We're both are gonna head over to Pod. Yeah, I was gonna say, meanwhile, though, in contrast, Gamma, having to basically pick up some extra money along the way, I think he is very interested in seeing what Pod has to offer. That was a pretty heads-up thinking, though, on Dante's side. Oh, yeah, we also Polo on his side. Okay, so he's gonna be able to at least get a potion as well. So.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is actually gonna work out for him pretty well. Nice murder dactyl just hanging out there.
Yeah, just there.
So 28 minutes in, you know, Kakariko gave us a lot of stuff, but it was, in reality, it was like just swords. It was all swords.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so we were all set for offense. You know, we did have some nice mobility in that, you know, we got a flute, but of course no miss, meaning that we don't really have access to the Mire area. And, you know, Canis Maria, well, it is really nice, going to be really useful for Icebreaker in Ice Palace, you know, obviously requisite for Mire. We're going to be able to probably see it here when they try to go to the back of Pod, you know, and sort of having to drag that statue, but it's really more of just like a late game, you know, item. It doesn't really open up any progression.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, there's our myths.
Speaking of, all right, so we definitely now have a bunch more access with those myths, with that mirror.
Leave, Gamma, leave. Just leave.
Looks like he is going to continue on. We are, of course, still missing that very elusive hammer. Going to be able to at least like give us access to the backup pod, because we at least the basement. But yeah, but of course, myths open up also like a ton more stuff, right?
Yeah. No, you don't leave. I was just kidding. But he should leave because there's nothing else here.
Yeah, also we see that while Gamma is actually going through the bow lock side, typically speaking, you will have a red mimic there that basically essentially forces you to use the bow, but the enemies here, you know, because they've been swapped, they don't require the bow anymore, but the game, of course, still thinks that you have the bow in order to access this part.
Yeah. So there's our one guaranteed key. There's our second. So there's two more keys in the next, at least two more keys in the next 3 checks here in the front.
Yeah, and of course, no boots means that Dante has to basically resign himself in order to do the side with boots. I guarantee you he would have at least taken one attempt in order to try and hover over.
Well, he wouldn't because it's bow locked. He had to come this way anyway.
Oh, that's, yeah. You're right. We certainly would not, you know, we certainly want to abide by logic rules.
Yeah. Alright, key for key in the vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, certainly it looks like, just because of how how Pod is laid out so far, some pretty standard routing. I expect nothing different from Dante as he makes his way over there as well.
Mm-hmm. I missed the Stalfos basement. What was
it? Was the big key.
Oh, the big key, okay. So they can't clear this dungeon even though they have the bow. They still need the hammer.
Yeah, luckily they have the mirror in order to try and help out with routing, because, you know, no hammer means that, you know, we saw that on Bulldogs, they couldn't even jump down, right? It looks like they had to basically, you know, mirror out and then go through this part again.
A nice spike there.
Spike.
Nice double spike.
Oh, dude, this spike is so bad. Gamma demonstrating exactly why it is so bad. We have no invisibility item either. Man.
Yeah, good luck. Just power your way through there.
Alright, so of course Gamma does have a fairy. Pretty sure that's why he basically just took the spike head on.
Yeah.
Probably want to get some iframes.
I don't think he's getting iframes. It's too far north. Yeah. Oh no, he does. Just
he definitely made it. Campbell must know something about how long basically walking iframes last.
He's just lucky.
You know what? That luck is a skill in this game. You know, we saw basically he went down Hera basement and he got his item. So.
All right, there's the map. There's the compass. So there's an item on the boss, which is Argus. We cannot complete Argus. 1, because we don't have a hammer. And 2, because we don't have a hookshot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at least it's gonna be good knowledge for both, you know, Gamma and of course shortly. Oh, Dante. Dante's wrong. Okay, I got through the first spike. Oh no, I have to get through another spike.
Yeah, using iframes as well with the bombs. Nicely done.
No, that was actually. I don't know if it looked as tight as it actually was, but Dante did a really nice job. Basically, damage boosting stuff and getting us off iframes for that.
All right, is there going to be anything else here? There's some bombs. One more check. I told them they should leave, right?
Yeah. No, you. I mean, yes. If only they could hear you.
$20.
Yeah, they should have left here. They should have left. Although, you know, they did have the compass, you know, and in order, it would be, you know, it's good to have knowledge for what boss you have here.
All right, so Mire area, I believe, is probably your next check, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks like though Gamma also still very much not interested in exploring Eastern Palace.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, like, we have the cane. We don't have any medallions, so we can't actually get into Mire, unless, of course, the medallion is kind of sitting out here, in which case, we got ourselves another dungeon.
Nope, we still can't get in there. Even if we had bombos.
We need a hook shot or boots, man.
Correct.
We're so spoiled for having so many bows with starting boots. It's just easier to forget.
All right, $300 in Mire Shed, $320 in Mire Shed.
Am I just tanking the roller? No worries.
Yeah, was that 3 hearts?
Yep, it's 3 hearts damage.
All right, Dante getting his trash, and we'll exit. I imagine we'll see him head over this way as well. On the hunt for the hammer. There is a shield and checkerboard. Don't need that. And as predicted, there's Dante in the mire area.
Yeah, so I mean, basically our runners have essentially done the same thing, and actually in this case, like, Gamma just has a little bit of a lead. Just basically it looks like the mire overworld at this point, but it is so minor at this point.
Yeah, there's still so much to go. He is going to skip Skullwoods here. I know the majority of people like to do Skullwoods.
No. So in this case, I am fully on board with you, Fear. This is the right decision. We have a Village of Outcasts basically left for us.
Now the big question is, Gamachu going to go to the back of Thieves Town? That I cannot predict.
It is a crystal. Of course, we will have a potential to isolate the one item in Big Chest because we don't have the hammer, but it is a crystal, so maybe and of course this is probably one of the reasons why Gamma's trying to do some of the overworld stuff first. Just in case you have a hammer, then you can basically fully complete Thieves Town.
Yeah. If there's something back here, I imagine Gamma will make the trek. I think Dante is going to do Skullwoods though.
Now, do you think that there's going to be some metagaming going on here, with our runners? Because, if Dante thinks that Gamma's going to skip Skullwoods, he might also skip Skullwoods to try and keep
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much scouting each one of them have done. I also missed which bosses in Thieves Town.
I also, unfortunately, missed that as well. Looks like, though, maybe it was Cold Stare?
Wow, just a bunch of bosses that we can't complete, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll definitely get a confirmation on Dante's side once he eventually also goes in. I assume he's going to do the front 4.
Yeah, he'll do Village Broadcast first, and then he'll jump in. He'll probably just mirror. They'll both probably just mirror out. I can't imagine him doing the back. Oh, there's 3 items in the back.
Okay, so I mean, and Gamma's got his mirror out, so it looks like he's just going to leave. I mean, and that's probably fair. Like, there's no reason if like the one item you're basically gonna isolate it happens to be the big chest, right? And you're definitely gonna try and find other things.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see the Smiths though, since they've got the mirror. Doing the Smith chain is pretty quick.
Yeah, and they're already basically, they started here in the northern part of the Dark World, right? So with the mirror, they could do dig game. Basically it's like South Dark World in combination, right? So it's gonna be pretty efficient. If only we could find those boots.
It was Cold Stare.
Right. Yep. Okay, so that fire rod or bombos, for that matter, is going to be pretty useful.
Pretty important, yeah.
Also, shout outs to Killable Thieves. That is the best thief in this game.
Yeah. All right, I think it was just 5 rupees there at the big game.
Yeah, we unfortunately don't have Gamma's audio, but we can tell that because the item basically showed up kind of slower, right? It was like landed floatingly down as opposed to just got it. Yeah, it looks like as you predicted, Fear. I thought for some people the Smith chain didn't exist, but you know what? Here we are.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to skip Smiths in certain cases, but when you're looking for the hammer and you have the mirror, it's pretty much unskippable, I think.
Yeah, so fortunately, at least, we don't have the powder yet. We unfortunately couldn't save scum that mushroom, so hammer peg is not going to be completely isolated. Chances are we are going to maybe find that that powder, and then we can always come back and then combine that with hammer pegs later.
So we find our third bottle there in the smiths. Hype cave going to be hyped today?
Man, I hope so. We're missing still so much stuff. Our runners have a lot of really good items already, but we're missing all of our medallions. We're missing both rods. We're missing boots. We're missing hammer.
Hook shot. We're missing a lot of stuff. Yeah.
So hopefully, Hype is gonna have something for us.
I'm trying to think. Like, we got the mirror that didn't really unlock it. It unlocked the flippers, right? The mirror unlocked the flippers, which didn't give us anything. I don't think.
I'm trying to think in this case what the mirror, as you said, has gotten us. It got us up to Hera. Oh, it got us flippers. That's right.
Yeah, but flippers didn't give us anything either, though.
So far, you are correct. At least it got us something. But it hasn't led to anything major yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that the flippers are, of course, logically required. We do not Ice Palace Crystal, but obviously, both runners get a big flipper in.
Yeah.
It's 2BD if Swamp actually has anything of value.
All right, purple chest. What do you got for us? The Quake medallion.
Okay, all right.
Is a thing.
We do not still know what Turtle Rock entry is, so it could be useful if Turtle Rock does have some sort of progression, but we are really trying to find that Bombos medallion.
Yeah, we really don't want to go into Turtle Rock either, honestly.
Yes.
We can avoid it. Bombos tablet gives us $20. It feels like we got to get something soon. It'd be funny if it was just an Eastern.
How bad would you feel, out of curiosity, if it was just like an Eastern?
I don't think you feel bad. I mean, if you're doing like a qualifier race or something, then maybe you think your opponent, could have god ratted in there if it's there. 1-on-1, 1v1, and your opponent. I mean, these two have played each other quite a bit. You're both going to know that you're going to last on location.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very fair statement. It's just like you definitely. The better you know your opponent, you know that your opponent also skipped this. It's not going to be any mental tilt to you. All right, let's see how good this hype cave is.
10 bombs, a heart piece, powder, and a heart piece. So trash-ish.
Powder is certainly a nice safety.
Sure.
In Randomizer especially, right, with that bug net and another bottle, right, can certainly basically be infinite health at that point, but it does open up another check for you that you really don't want to go back to without that hammer.
Yeah, looks like we're going to get a catfish play from Gamachu here. And of course, Gamma's done the Hera basement, so he knows Hera has nothing. Dante did Dark Cross, which Gamma skipped. Neither one of them obviously had any sort of progression, but those are like the two outstanding checks that each one has skipped. The big one being Eastern at this point.
Yeah, I mean, so what else left
We've got there? Skull Woods, which is probably where the hammers were just sitting. Magic Bat obviously is another check. With mitts, it's not too bad. And the flute, because you can just go check it. They've already done the smith chain, so we'll see if Catfish has anything for us here. Catfish is going to spit out just some bombs.
So where would you go at this point, Fear? Would you go to Skull Woods? Would you go to Eastern?
I think I do.
We've been avoiding the entire time?
Yeah, I think I check powder first, then flute back and do Skull Woods. So that's what I think I would do.
Okay, all right. So it looks like though Gamma looks like he's not willing to commit to the powder quite yet, and at least gonna explore what is in the front of Skull Woods. We don't have a fire rod, so we can't unfortunately get to the back quite yet. But oh, good. Instead of bush cars today, we have bush Gibtos, which are much worse in my opinion.
Much worse, yeah. It looks like we might get a little convergence here. Gamma gave away some time checking out Catfish, not paying out. Dante making that skip. And it looks like Dante's going to do
Yeah,
what
looks
I
like
thought.
yes. All right, so Dancy at least is gonna give us as viewers some a little bit of divergence. Gonna be able to see basically what is on this bat. Gamma looks like he.
Yeah, Graveyard Ledge is still an option too. Forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah, that's true. We can also take a peek of what's on Bumper Ledge. Of course, obviously we can't get it without the cape, but you know, good knowledge.
There's the boots.
Oh my gosh!
Just sitting there. Do not skip Skull Woods, everyone. Do not
You know,
skip
all right.
Skull
So
Woods.
today is Duncan's day. If he's like smiling right now and he doesn't know why, those boots are 100% the reason why Duncan's gonna be happy.
Yeah, Dante will be getting those soon though. Like,
Yeah.
unless he gets the hammer. He gets the hammer.
that would actually be pretty amazing.
All right, small key. Powder is not the worst. Keen to burn it.
Certainly would have been a little bit nicer to have for Pod, especially for that bridge with the spikes. Yep. It's another piece closer, of course, to access Spike Cave in this case. We don't have the hammer yet, so we still can't complete it, but we certainly still need an invincibility item to put that functioning logic.
So now Gamma's going to be able to do Graveyard Ledge and check the bonks checks as well. So we'll be able to do that all at once. Dante, not very far behind, is going to get those boots right away.
Yeah.
Both of them are going to kind of feel bad about that one, thinking that they skipped the early boots, you know?
Early-ish, yes. I mean, so, yeah, yes. Once they had Dark World access, basically, they could, in this case, gotten to those boots pretty quickly. Oh, yeah. Gamma ended up... wait, no, I don't think we had a lumberjack check either.
Did we? I don't know.
No, because it was just, they both started at Link's house, and then they found Glove, and then I think that was it. Nobody...
Yeah, I totally forgot about lumberjack, yeah. Nothing today, though. Gamma playing very efficient. Normally, you see him fluff his collection a little bit, you know, but
no,
knows that knows that he can't
okay.
just do that against Dante here.
I mean, Dante, you know, he did lose 2 games to Dante's 1 in this case, or whatever, to his 1 from the main tournament. So
there's the hammer.
All right.
Imagine skipping Skull Woods in this seed.
Oh my gosh. So is the hammer in this case just ended up being slightly delayed? You know, they could, I think for both of them, they probably, if they had a little bit earlier, you know, could have probably finished up Pod. But of course, there's not going to be any loss. Sorry, they could have axed the back of Pod, but because of course the Pod boss is Argus, we don't have the hook shot. It's not like you know, it wasn't in this case like inefficient.
Yeah, so I mean, hammer opens up the mountain. I think that's probably your next check, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So of course, you know, with a miss, it does give us basically access. Or sorry, we can lift the rocks in order to get us to Dark World on East Death Mountain. But in order to get to East Death Mountain to begin with, we need either a hammer or a hook shot. In this case, we finally got it.
Yeah. All right. So boots unlocking hammer. And we'll see what Gamma's going to do. Looks like the mountain is a safe bet. So we do need the hook shot, not just because of swamp. Well, swamp is a pendant, so not for that, but to kill Argus, which we found in a dungeon. I can't remember which one.
Argus was Pod in this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're still looking for a way to crack open the cold stare.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so because this is Chaos boss Randomizer, right? You know, all the bosses can basically appear 0 or, you know, whatever, all times in every dungeon. You know, we have all this stuff to basically get us a bit more access, but still nothing actually to fully complete or defeat the bosses, right? No hookshot for Argus, no bombos or fire rod for that matter for cold stare. So we still have to basically keep looking.
Yep. All right, so Gamma gonna give us a look at Spiral Cave as Dante picks up his hammer.
Oh man, what a Spiral Cave! Doesn't even have the sword strong enough in order to kill these red guards in one shot.
Yeah, with this being hard mode, tempered is all that we're gonna see. There's another 20 there.
Yeah, I'm
we're getting to the heart 20s now.
Yeah, that I was gonna say. Like, I think early on we already basically got everything for what the shield, not the shield, the mail and the sword upgrades. And
Yeah.
at this point, it looks like we're basically creeping into the health side of things.
Mm-hmm. All right, Paradox Cave. We got 7 checks here. What do we got? Heart piece and our first shield.
Yeah, unfortunately, Gamma could not avoid this one. The first
Yeah.
3-state shield that we saw was in Checkerboard Cave, and he was like, "Nope, I don't need that." But unfortunately, he has to to take this one.
Some Gibdos. We got a 20. Well, there's our hook shot.
Hey, there is our hook shot. Are we going back to pod? I think there is an item still left on the boss as well.
Yep. I mean, you're gonna finish off the mountain. Still looking for, Fire Rod is the next big one. Still can't get into Mire, so we do need Bombos. So Bombos and Fire Rod, probably.
And of course, right, ideally you would also like to see that Ice Rod show up. It's very possible that we will never see a Trinex, for this entire seed. I certainly would not wish upon either runner if the entire, all 7 crystal bosses were not Trinex, and then you have to get to like Ice Armos, or sorry, Ice Trinex, which has the big key behind it, and then you have to basically leave GT in order to find it.
I do want to see that.
You know what? Actually, that's a good point, because we got basically gypped in Aga Tower, right?
Totally.
All the enemies basically just got easier, and yeah, we want to see some fun here.
All right, is it Quake for Turtle Rock? It is not. It is Ether. Okay, nice. So if you're running the seed, you want Ether to be in GT at this point.
Yeah, and not Ice Rod basically behind it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dante also basically, cleaning up the overworld, making his north trip, making sure Catfish is in his path, and we're going straight up the mountain at this point.
Yeah, I think we're a little surprised to see Dante head over to Catfish, but there's our Fire Rod.
Oh man!
Okay, we're in just business now. Yep.
So actually, yeah, are we basically in a potential go mode here?
That's the problem, is you never really know in Randomizer where Trinex is going to show up. We can kill every boss except for Trinex now.
That BMOS. Not in a friendly location. I mean, we still need Bombos, of course, because we do need the Mire as a requisite entry. But yeah, I mean, once they end up finding Mire, do you still keep searching for that Ice Rod? Chances are no,
I don't
right?
think so, no.
Alright, nothing in Hookshot Cave. So
is he gonna check Spike? It's not in logic form, and it looks like he's not gonna. So now I think you just kind of clean up some dungeons. So maybe start with. Oh, he's gonna start with Ice Palace. Okay, this makes sense. Fair. He hasn't been here. I believe Trinex can be here.
Yes, Trinex can be at Colster's location in Ice Palace. Yeah, and and maybe also another reason to potentially put off Pod for the time being is that if you need more information to try and decide whether or not you want to finally go into Easter Palace, you certainly at least want a couple more dungeons underneath your belt.
Yeah, I mean it's Crystal. I don't know. Pod seems like a good play, but I understand. I mean, basically any Crystal at this point.
Yeah. And of course, we can always go back to Desert, right? But maybe they also want to try and combine Desert and Mire in one trip. Certainly could be possible. How is it that Dante is constantly on heart beeps and 2 or 3 hearts always?
It's Randomizer. And you're on green mail, so these things, Gibdos and Henoxes and rollers and all this stuff do a lot of damage. So Dante gonna pick up his hook shot. Gamachu gonna get our Bombos medallion in Ice Palace. Okay, that's
all right. So we
potentially
got some,
go mode.
Yeah, we got some fire begets fire rule here in Randomizer for this seed. Fire Rod, of course, locking that Bombos medallion. Gamma is, I think, is he just basically gonna go to the boss at this point? Maybe check something free along the way.
I think it's because it's Ice Palace. The way Ice Palace is set up is you run by a bunch of these chests, anyways. It makes sense to just check on while you're going. He might skip out on Iced Tea, but I think he'll probably check everything else. This is BMOS. Unless this BMOS lets it. Yeah.
It's like Gauntlet 0 on ice, basically. Alright, so dancing that
compass.
We have a compass.
Check it. Trinex.
It is
No,
not
Landmost.
Trinex, it was
Landmost.
Landmost, yeah.
Oh man, I got excited. I thought it was Trinex for a second.
Alright, Dancy basically picking up his fire rod, so he is now, of course, Bombos away, which we know, of course, we just saw Gamma pick it up in Ice Palace, and maybe potentially Ice Rod. Dancy does have the Cane of Burden that he ended up picking up from a Magic Bat, which is a check that Gamma has not done yet, so he might also be incentivized to do Spike Cave alongside.
All right, so the big question, Killer Mouse, are we going to see Trinex? Do we need the Ice Rod?
I mean, I think we are, and because it's gonna be a pretty fast seed without it. But I think Trinex is gonna show up somewhere. Maybe in Desert.
I think in Landmo too.
Landmo too. That would be something.
So they're gonna go mode a bunch of stuff and then realize, oh, I still need the Ice Rod after they climb it. Yeah.
Looks like though Dancy, after getting some pretty empty hookshot cave, is opting to not do a spike cave to run over there, and we're going to pod.
This is the room that always scares me the most in Randomizer.
In Ice Palace, yeah, because Wall Masters have been lurking there quite frequently.
Yes.
It seems to be a very popular hangout, and yeah, that's not a place that you want to go to.
So Dante going to clean up pod as Gamachu finishes up Ice Palace. Gets 2 of the 3 items, I believe. So the big key,
you
I
are
believe,
correct. Yeah.
the big key is on Ice Tea, and the last item is in the big chest, from what I can tell.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's still pretty far, that big chest, based on basically where that big key is. So yeah, it's very understandable that Gamma decided to not go over there.
Yeah. So for Gamma, it's just to start clearing out dungeons.
Yeah, where is our next dungeon? Looks like he is going to follow suit on Dancy's side. Yeah. So Dancy's going to be,
Pod, then maybe Thieves Town, Skull Woods combo would be my guess.
Oh, right. Yeah, that is true. I think we only found 1 item, I want to say, in the front. Or did we find both items in the front of Skull Woods?
Both items were found in Skull Woods.
All right. Okay. So yeah, Skull Woods basically is just going to be a cleanup. But we do know that there's going to be 1 item left in Thieves Town for us.
Now there's 3 items left.
There's 3.
There's 3, but they're not gonna. Neither one of them are gonna go to the back. There's no way either one of them go to the back of Thieves Town.
Oh yeah, that's true. This is Chaos Boss Randomizer, so you do not actually have to rescue the magnet. You can basically go straight to the boss itself. 3 items is pretty lucrative, but in this case, we don't even know if we need that Ice Rod. And of course, if we do end up needing the Ice Rod, we can always just come back to Thieves Town pretty quickly. So yeah, definitely gonna understand that. Basically, just gonna knock out some crystals at this point.
So which boss is here? Is this Armo?
This is Cold Stare.
Cold Stare.
Oh no, sorry, this is Argus. Never mind. Sorry,
Argus, yeah. We have Cold Stare in 2 spots, right? Is it Thieves Town and Hera?
Thieves Town and Hera. That's right. Yep.
And we don't know the boss of Desert.
Yeah, the compass was on the right side, which was Bowlocked.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, Blitzlocked, not Bowlocked.
Yeah. And we don't know the boss of Skullwoods either. So hopefully maybe we get a Helmosaur. That's always fun, right?
Yeah, that would be fun. I would actually like to see Helmosaur in the back of Skullwoods. Always kind of a good treat to watch.
It's always just fun, yeah. For us to watch, for sure.
Yes.
All right, that's crystal number 2, or crystal number 1 actually for Dante.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we basically couldn't even get any bosses cleared until we had to basically follow, I don't know, Sphere 8 or something at that point, or something like that, to go up the mountain and get both our hookshot and fire rod.
Yeah, I don't know how either. It's funny that they both ended up skipping out on Skull Woods, and that was the answer.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how either one of them feels at this point, because if you think that your opponent did Skull Woods first and gets that hammer, then you're going to be feeling pretty behind. But I mean, we know that both of them ended up skipping out on it, and we'll see how that affects any of their decision making from here.
Yeah.
So Dan's going to get his Bombos medallion here as well in Ice Palace, and we'll be in what we think is go mode. We don't know for sure.
We're certainly hoping that we still need the Ice Rod. That was actually pretty nice last hook on Gamma's side to get the last puff.
Nicely done.
Hopefully Dante won't get bullied like Gamma did in the BMOS room.
I don't know. He's been getting bullied a lot in this Randomizer mode, which is the mode that he chose. He is the higher seed in this The Titans Mitts are the higher seed here in the conference finals. There's that hand coming down.
Good reminder, at least for that Wallmaster for Dante, because then at least he'll be like, oh yeah, that could actually be something right before I drop down a Colster or one of Colster's bosses. Oh, these shadow guys, man.
There's Bombos for Dante. Gamma flutes to 3, and it will be like a. I imagine he just these down into Skull Woods because you can mirror out of Skull Woods and then probably go Desert Mire. So we are in a best of 5 here. This is the second game of the series. Shireen lost to Sailor Nep in casual boots by 20 seconds. That's how close that race was.
Oh yeah, that's right. I definitely remember that race. That was actually. If you haven't seen that race, definitely go back and watch it. It's quite the ride. And yeah, I believe actually game. Well, the second game, I guess, of the series, but technically game 3 for us is Cross Keys with Relkin.
Yeah, that's tomorrow at 11 a.m. I believe against Ramond.
Yeah. So both Relkin and Ramon are very excellent cross keys runners. Definitely gonna want to watch that race as well.
Yeah, don't want to miss that.
All right, Gamma taking down cold stairs. So this is actually going to be a pretty good opportunity. You know, like with the fact that we have so many cold stairs might actually be worth our whiles in order to flute over to the potion shop to pick up another potion. Colster's getting a little bit away from Gamma, but you know we've got enough things going on where Gamma's pretty safe.
So there's only 2 items in the back now. So again, no, we're not going to see either one of them go to the back of Thieves Town unless the ice rod is required and the ice rod is there. That's the only way we ever see that in the seed.
Oh, talk about getting bullied, man! That anti-fairy is working overtime on Dante.
Yeah, he's gonna need some magic here. That's crystal number 3 for Gamachu. As Dante makes his way to fight Lan Molis here in Ice Palace.
Yeah, Dante doesn't need, of course, a full magic bar, you know, with the typical dropping down a cold stair, but, you know, Lan Molis definitely goes down a lot faster with the full magic bar.
For sure.
Dante has been practicing his NMG lately, so maybe we'll be able to see a couple of bow shots here, maybe?
I still think he just probably...
He has the hammer. Yeah, he has the hammer out, though, so...
Yeah, just use your tempered sword and hammer. I think you're all right. All right, what do you think is going to be here in the back of Skull Woods?
We did not get a compass, correct?
We did not.
All right. We're hoping for Helmasaur. That's right. Of course, another spike on...
What's your prediction, though?
My prediction... no, I'm just going to predict it's going to be Helmasaur. I wanted Helmasaur.
I think it's going to be Moldorm. And I think it's going to have five eyes.
Very interesting. That would actually be quite the treat for us as well.
5-eyed or Moldorm is my prediction. Crystal number 2. In hand for Dante, fluting away. Looks like he's going to do the Mire Desert play. Oh, it's Argus.
Okay.
This actually is not a fun fight to do.
Yes, this is pretty challenging. So luckily, at least for Gamma, you know, he does have quite a bit of health, right, to his name. I think he also has both his safeties at this point, potions. And so, yeah, it's just like, in this case, you just have to make sure that you have enough space to hookshot him. And you can actually see while Gamma still was doing a really good job earlier, basically Argus, like, just rushed him, and then you basically just lost, like, 6 points of health at that point.
Yeah. Trying to get the quick kill, but the conveyor does not help with that.
Oh, thank you, Compass, for telling us what the boss is after we found out what the boss is for ourselves.
All right, so Dante in Desert. Normally a room full of Pobos has instead some Gibdos. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, Dante's also kind of showing us just how useless some of these sword beams are. He really wanted to kind of land temper sword damage on some of the enemies, but yeah, wasn't happening today.
I mean, he's being very... I guess he does have the blue potion, but being kind of loose with his magic. Using that fire rod there. I don't know. We don't know what's back
Yeah,
here.
this could be Cold Stare, and then he was gonna have to spend his another potion. But you know what? It's just Armos today, so you know he's got no more than enough arrows to take care of this guy.
Man, the bosses have been pretty boring.
I think the bosses have been up front have been pretty. I would say
the
like
compass again.
Yeah. Yeah, all the bosses that we saw ahead of time were like, oh, it's a Cold Stare. We don't know where that fire rod is. Oh, it's an Argus. We don't know where that hook shot is. And suddenly it's just like, man, they're all just be easy too.
Yeah.
After that.
Wow, Gibdos have come out in style today, blocking the way in the Misery Mire. That's crystal number 3 for Dante. It's safe to say that Gamma's got a bit of a lead here, though. It's going to all come down to whether or not we need to find that ice rod.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like the lead is that significant, right? Basically, just a couple more rooms in this case for that Gamma's ahead of Dante. You know, execution, of course, is going to play a significant role, and of course, if we end up finding out that we need that ice rod, which we still don't know right now, what the boss of Mire is.
Don't know the boss of Mire, and Trinex can be in 2 spots in GT. I mean, Ice Trinex is obviously the most fun for us viewers.
It is very, very difficult as a boss to fight.
All right, first check in Mire is a small key on the bridge.
This scene, though, for what it's worth, at least so far, has actually been, I would say, relatively, you know, friendly in terms of layout. You know, we didn't have to touch any of Eastern. Both runners, you know, avoided that pretty well. We haven't gone into Swamp.
Yeah, so far we haven't had to touch Eastern.
Yeah, we haven't touched Turtle Rock either.
Yeah. For the runner's sake, you really want to make sure you find that compass. Oh, nice roller.
Oh, jeez. Try and hit the switch here. The rollers do 3 hearts of damage on Green Mail. That fire bar is definitely not helping any of the situation.
Yeah. You know, the one thing I'm actually kind of looking for is half magic in these seeds. There's the compass. Give us a look.
Oh.
Land mole again.
Man. All right, it's slightly a bit more challenging in that you still have Vitreous's like slime, so it still does damage to you. So it's not like you basically just like go out there, you know, up and top, right? What D&D showed us to do in Ice Palace. You do have to do a little bit more avoidance.
So we don't know if we'll see Ice Armos and whatever boss is at Ice Armos because we don't know where the GT big key is, but Trinex can still be at Land Mode 2. So, and we've got a vanilla big key here in Mire. Dante can make up some time if he decides to do it right away. I don't think he will, but
no, it looks like he's just basically following suit in Gamma's footsteps. Gonna also check the boss almost when Gamma did as well. Finds out that he, of course, still does not need. Maybe it's side relief on Dante's side, right? Okay, good. At least I don't need the ice rod quite yet. Yeah, I think the only thing at this point, maybe that could be on both runners' minds is, did my opponent dip Skullwoods earlier than me?
For sure. Because after you get the boots and you get the hammer like almost right away, you're basically just looking for Bombos and you get an Ice Palace, or you get everything up on the mountain. And you go to Ice Palace, get the Bombos, and the seed's very open. So yeah, both of them are probably feeling, why did I skip Skull Woods? Why don't I listen to Dunka?
No, Dunka, it's certainly a very high percentage. It just happens to work out in this case in Dunka's favor.
Yeah. I mean, you and I both agree that was probably the right call at the time.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
You got the Mitt, you got Village of Outcasts all the way to Hype Cave. It makes sense to skip out on Skull Woods there. So.
No, I 100% agree with the decision. And, these runners, winner and runner-up from the main tournament, they definitely know what they're doing. So wholeheartedly support their decision.
All right.
Yeah, patiently waiting for his cutscene to run out, so he's going to basically follow shortly in Gamma's footsteps. So of course, Dante, looking at the scoreboard, both runners are going to have 4 crystals on Dante's side to 5 crystals on Gamma's side. But Dante just has to basically do the cleanup, in Skullwoods and Thiefstown, and then Gamma needs to finish up basically the backup desert.
Yep. Yeah, and they'll both do the Hera pot their way up to.
Yep.
Hera, and kill the, what was it, Cold Stare up there as well.
Yeah, it was Cold Stare. And so, Brace is actually still pretty tight, depending on where that GT big key is. Certainly very well within the range of GT basement routing. If that Ice Rod is still required because it's, the GT big key is behind one of the bosses or the climb, and it is basically still anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, and I don't think they do the same GT route. I'm pretty sure that Gamma will do Hope. If he gets key, he goes to Compass, and Dante will
Does he do left side
Stalfos. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I don't know what Dante did. But you know what, Pierre? These are your two favorite people, so I'm just gonna trust your word in this case. And you haven't been wrong so far.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, Gamma's doing a pretty good job, basically nailing down landmouse here in Vitreous spot.
Yeah, instead of just going from the bottom instead of the top, doesn't really change too much. So it's crystal number 5 for Gamachu. This is crystal number 4 for Dante here.
Yeah, and Gamma, of course, is already very quickly making his way over to crystal number 5. Yeah, of course, doing a little bit more, basically mirroring, so he doesn't have to take the time to pick up the extra rock, in this case, trying to get to the backup desert. Now, we did see that Dante unfortunately suffered, the feature of sword beams, basically in some of the desert rooms, so hopefully Gamma won't have to experience the same thing. Gamma is experiencing why you don't want sword beams for Gyarados. But you know what? We got Bombos out. We're just going to take care of everything here inside.
Yeah, I like that. Just take them out. What was back here again? I forget.
Desert was something we could defeat. Armos, that's right.
Armos, okay. All right, so Dante gonna head straight into Thieves Town, go straight to the back, and we'll do his I can't remember. Was it Cold Stare? Argus? It's one of those two.
It was Cold Stare. Yeah, in this case, Cold Stare was in Thieves Town, and it's also in the top of Hera. And
too complicated.
It's this is the problem with the Chaos Boss Shuffle. We also don't have a tracker, unfortunately, that we can display for our viewers. So we have some constant reminders.
All right, that's crystal number 6 for Gamachu. Here is the Cold Stare fight for Dante. Not free. I mean, it's a little bit different of a setup. Should be fine. Going from the right, using the fire rod. Takes a hug.
Dante. Alright, okay. On 3 hearts, he wasn't, he could still have taken an icicle hit, but, couldn't basically touch Cold Stare at all in this case.
Yeah.
Gamma, though, very prudently, of course, remembering that, a potion would be still nice in this case, just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, I think he's got a fairy and 2 blues, so. It's always bad when you run out, when you don't have half magic, and you run out of magic, and you need magic, and you're in GT.
Yeah, the magic, I think, is probably actually the higher consideration at this point for Golden Runners.
So Gamma had a Skull Woods clear and a mountain climb at this point.
Yeah, and of course we're going into the direction of Ganon's Tower, but we can still see from our tracker that Hera Para is not completed. We did end up getting both items out of Hera. But in this case, Gamma just needs to get over to Ganon's Tower in the Dark World. Mirror, Hera pot his way up into Tower of Hera, defeat Cold Stare, which is up top, and then we're going straight into GT. Still holding out hope, by the way, that we don't have to go touch any pendant dungeon. I mean, both of these runners did very well to basically just avoid Eastern like the plague. In this case.
I see in chat someone requesting Kiss Priest week for League next season, and while I can't guarantee any mode, I can pretty much guarantee Kiss Priest is not happening this week. If anyone's not aware, Kiss Priest, you load up 10 Randomizer seeds and try to get through.
You heard it from basically the highest level of League admin.
Yeah, it's Randomizer with a standard escape, standard Randomizer, and you're just trying to get to the priest each seed. It's silly and fun, but yeah, it's not.
It's probably
Not something I
probably
imagine
not league
happening in kind of a
material.
league. Yeah.
All right, so Dante dropping down into his Argus fight on conveyor belt. Meanwhile, Gamma's taking down Colster on Hera. Probably not actually like the worst arena, honestly.
Yeah. He's going to get crystal number 7 here, and we'll be entering GT like immediately. So if you want to get your guesses in where you think the GT big key is going to be, there's 22 different locations. Someone will keep track and let you know if you won or not. That's about all we have left for the GT.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So basically simultaneous boss fights, boss completions. You know, Dante actually did a really nice job on Argus. Surprisingly, no heartbeats of encouragement for Dante. But he is also going to be now on his way up the mountain. Meanwhile, Gamma is going to be entering GT at this point.
Here we go. So Gamachu is a mountain climb and a Hera completion ahead of Dante. It's just a few minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. But the big question is,
do we need that ice rod?
Do we need the ice rod? Yep.
And this, of course, is also an Randomizer. You know, Gauntlet has actually been pretty well game designed to be, difficult. Randomizer, Gauntlet has not really proven to be much easier, honestly.
Yep.
And you still have the element of surprise from the enemies. Wall Master certainly could be quite lurking, so game is still very much alive.
All right. Did you see which direction he headed?
You're right here.
He went to Hope.
Yeah.
No key. Can't continue right.
It was a nice arrow refill for what it's worth. That was going to be kind of nice to see.
You see a small key on the torch. So, if it is in Compass Room, and Dante does Stalfos right, he can make up some time here.
Yeah, this is actually one of the layouts where it's actually going to cause the most amount of variance if you decided to end up doing Stalfos Room first into Compass Room, because the way that Gamma is routing and how the keys are laid out, he is not going to see Compass Room until basically he finishes up the left side, in this case.
He's hedging.
Leaving.
He's hedging.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought he might actually make his way all the way over to whatchamacallit, Rando Room and then Mirror, because that you're basically putting Ice Armos last. But this is to prevent the Stalfos right strat from really taking a huge advantage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess I wonder if if this is either trying to counter it directly against Dante, or this might be like a state of the match thing.
Yeah, I think this is a Dante. I'm playing Dante, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna do Stalfos right. So.
Oh, Gamma unfortunately just keeps missing the Kana Samurai shots, but third time's the charm. Just like what we predicted. All right, is this in Compass Room? Is this gonna pay off?
It is not.
It is not here. All right, so Gamma's got definitely his peace of mind. He knows that he's at least not going to lose up too much time over Dante.
He definitely lose a little bit of time there, but it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And he has, peace of mind going forward for the rest of GT, right? He's like, okay, I don't have to worry about potentially leaving Compass Room behind in this case.
Yeah.
All right, meanwhile, though, Dante taking down Colster, and he's also going to be right. He's just exit out Hera, take his portal, and then he's also ready to search for that big key. And let's see if you're right, Pierre. You're going to be, I don't know, basically 10 for 10 at this point with, with Dante and Gamma.
I mean, Dante might play against what Gamma's doing. I don't think I've ever seen
counter.
Yeah, I've never seen Gamma mirror out of Stalfos Room like that before. So, we might see a counter to what Gamma does. Though that's not really in Dante's playbook. He doesn't really do that. He just kind of plays his game. The one thing that we're kind of missing is this is Randomizer, and the climb is not the same as it is. There's Ether.
Oh no.
As it is in a normal NMG or a normal random run. So execution is definitely hugely important here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, both these runs have execution in spades. But as you said, the element of surprise in Randomizer can certainly throw even the best runners in execution basically for a loop.
All right, so Dante is heading left, and there is the big key in
Oh,
random room.
all right. Okay, so you have been on calls for every single one. So Dante is gonna find random room eventually, basically based on his routes.
Yeah,
Gamma
not really
though.
gonna pick up time though.
Yeah. Yeah, but all right. So this is basically going to be a battle of execution from here on out. It is certainly, Gamma does have a pretty, sizable advantage, and just in terms. But again, this is Randomizer in GT, right?
Yeah.
Never take anything for granted at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's right, and we still do it. We have one more boss up here. That's right.
Yeah, 2 more bosses, and one of them could be Trinix, and I forget what I was going to say. Oh, the Wall Masters. The Wall Masters at the top of GT are 100% a thing.
Of course, the jingle glitch had been patched, right? So, we don't have to suffer necessarily through that in order to have to start your climb over again. But yeah, in Randomizer, you've got more than one opportunity for the game to tell you that you need to start over in this case.
Yeah, so we've got one more opportunity for trying. Ooh, and Dante having trouble with throwing that block across as well. Finally does the little dash there and gets it across.
Oh, he's talking about this anti-fairy.
How
did he avoid that anti-fairy, man? I thought he was totally gonna get magic trained.
So we're just a few rooms away from finding out if we need the ice rod, and then we'll have one more boss at the top, though that cannot be Trinix. So at this point, it's Gamachu's race to lose, but there is still a lot left.
Helmosaur actually would be pretty tedious boss, just because the arena is so small and you have to basically hammer down, his mask. The knockback from the hammer can actually be pretty significant.
Yeah. Gauntlet hasn't been too tough. Again, you're just the muscle memory is gone because you're not fighting the enemies that you normally would fight. You have stuff that's running away from you and shooting you.
Yeah,
here we go.
That rope didn't look any easier.
Does not look like Trinix.
No, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be just cold stairs. So I think that's going to be the last, I would say, like major ice rod barrier. So it looks like we are actually not going to have to look for that ice rod today. And yeah, and the way that if you're wondering what Fear was kind of referencing, if it is Trinix, you kind of see like what is it, his legs or something like that. Yeah, like peeking out. So you definitely know you're going to face Trinix.
Yeah. But nicely handled there by Gamachu.
Dante is very close now. He is GT Big Key. He is just have to pick it up from Rando Room. If he ends up picking up bottom right or something like that first, he can save a little bit of time, but I somehow doubt it.
Yeah, it's usually the last one. And it is the same for Dante here. This is hard mode, so we won't see silvers. We have 12 hearts. They could potentially get 2 more hearts, but they're not going to be opening anymore.
Yeah, no, not at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that we did see the other boat. We saw like a lot of 20s basically along the way, so it could have been one of those, but I guess with this point we'll never know.
Overall, what do you think of the seed? Like, if you were to get rated like 1 out of 10 as far as
for runners to play or for us to watch?
Let's say runners to play.
Runners to play, I would actually say it was so long as you didn't skip the front of Skull Woods, I think it was actually a pretty fast seed, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fun.
I guess we're gonna also get one more check on Gamma side for getting the Molder 2 shoot. Did we see all the bosses today? Yeah.
We have not seen a Trinix.
We have not seen a Trinix, that's right.
We have not. Did we see a Moldorm? I don't think we saw a Moldorm either.
No Moldorm. Did we see Helmosaur?
Did not see Helmosaur, no.
Even the bosses actually haven't been too bad. We saw multiple cold stairs, but kind of after the fire rod. Oh yeah, that's right. No Vitreous either. Yeah, so I guess like the hardest quote unquote boss probably was either a cold stair or like conveyor belt Argus.
Yeah. So now just Agatu for Gamachu as Dante makes his way through the gauntlet.
Red Baris, man. This is actually one of those situations where maybe you actually would consider using your fire rod just because even though the bird animation takes a little bit longer, they at least go down in one shot, right? You see the Dante slashing, and the fact that he basically has to keep making multiple slashes in order to kill one.
And down goes our Aga 2 for Gamachu. So now just up Ganon.
The runner-up of the main tournament this year. I think Gamma probably knows a thing or two about fighting Ganon with tempered silverless.
Yeah.
Wow, Dante actually doing a really nice job here on Cold Stare. Typically speaking, you would at least try and maybe, fire a couple fire rod shots, but he knows that he potentially needs this magic going to upper GT. So pretty good heads up, thinking about that. But also the fact that, Dante has also practiced as an MG, for some time. It definitely has, showed in that fight. Unfortunately, we're gonna get a little bit of suspense before Gamma drops down again. I hope everything's okay. And I think I just
his channel is live, so hopefully you can. He is fighting Ganon currently.
Meanwhile, though, Dante making his way through the gauntlet, just enough magic basically to light all the torches, and yeah, we don't have to worry about Jingle Glitch, so we just pick up the magic, walk up as fast as we can, and then light some more torches, and we're gonna go fight, another moth at this point. So.
Yeah, Gamma on to phase 4 already, does get the torch glitch, and is now just 12 spins away from taking this race and tying it up for the series.
Yeah, Torch Glitch at this point is really just pertinent in order to try and get these, have enough time between Torch, go outs for triples. Gamma, the fact that he has 2 potions, is not really worried about magic management at this point. Dante! Putting those boosts to use.
Nicely done.
Yeah, pretty brave also because, Mothula is one of the few bosses that actually can fire projectiles, so Dante was actually in a little bit of danger getting knocked out, but he, handles it like a pro.
And Gamma is done with Ganon. Gets ready to cross that bridge and take game number 2 for Skull Kids. This is a time of 1:24:47.
Yeah, get your G's on chat for Gamachu. Played the scene actually very, very well. Certainly earned his spot to be part of the conference playoffs.
Yeah.
Dante very quick, not far behind him at all. Wrapping up Act 2, right? So he is basically just a Ganon fight down compared to Gamma.
All right, so we get the Ganon fight from DMT. We'll see if Gamma wants to join us here.
Alright, so we're gonna get basically at least a demonstration on how to defeat Ganon for phases 1 through 3 on Dante's side, because unfortunately we couldn't see that on Gamma's side due to some technical difficulties. And he looks like he's doing a pretty good job so far. He's got himself nestled into a nice little corner. And just like that, we are on to phase 3. Dante, of course, very adept at Tempered Sword and facing off against Ganon. I see Dante's also spoiling part of this fight for us in chat. Hopefully it's not going to go as badly as he might be alluding to.
And the one nice thing about this win for Skull Kids is, and for us as viewers, is we do get a game 4 now. We are guaranteed a game 4. Tomorrow, oh man, you just missed the torch glitch.
Yeah, I see why Dante was slightly more concerned about phase 4 versus phases 1 through 3. Alright, so unfortunately, because Dante does miss torch glitch, he has a lamp. He's not too worried about the magic, but yes, and unfortunately, we don't have enough time practically in order to land those nice triples. So, Dante's gonna have to do these 2 at a time as opposed to 3 at a time.
Yeah, so he probably should have finished closer to 3 minutes behind, but because of this, is gonna extend it just a little bit longer.
Dante is still doing a good job though, at least landing his hits, making sure he gets both 2 hits in per cycle. Has to still time these torches. I'm not sure if that one actually hit. It looked close, but I didn't hear like the grunt sound.
Almost there.
Just a couple more. I've totally lost track at this point how many times Dante ended up hitting. But you were saying though, in this case, the good part, of course, for us is that we get a guaranteed game 4 between Titansmith and Skull Kids. But with that, Dante has finished up Ganon on his fight. So get your G's on chat for Dante. Both of these racers, played one heck of a race. Dante. Is he trying to like time this or something for a good time?
I don't know what he does. I'm gonna have to suspend him from competition for this though.
All right. That was the real reason why Dante had to wait for so long in order to finish up the scene. Was because it was just basically dashing around in the Ganon room.
All right, so we got both guys in the setup room. We'll see if we can pull them up here in a second and do a little chatting. If you have any questions, throw them in chat, and we'll see if we can ask them. And here we are. We're joined by today's winner, Gamachu, and today's runner-up, DNT, the main tournament champion. How's everyone feeling today after this race?
Good. I feel good. GG's to Dante, by the way. GG's.
Yo, GG, Gamma.
All right, so I think the big question, I'll ask you both. We know that Dunka puts out these big drops of information about Skull Woods. Gamachu, we'll start with you. What makes you skip Skull Woods in that situation? Even though Claire Mouse and I both said it was the right choice at the time, obviously it wasn't. So let's start with you, Gamma. What made you think about skipping Skull Woods?
No, I didn't want to do that. I just, I have a full, a lot of density south, Village of Outcasts, Thieves Town, Hype Caves, kind of what I was focused on. And Skullwoods was not anywhere in my mind until, I went through Hype Cave and like, oh, this feels disgusting. I didn't want to do Skullwoods in that situation. I like to do it if I have a normal glove and hammer for Dark World access, but if I have mitts, I could just come back a little quicker.
What we thought is you flute and you have the mitts, you can get there pretty much anytime you wanted to put them here. Same question for you, Dante.
I can hear Dunka laughing maniacally now in his basement, but I wanted to. I just kind of felt like the same thing as Gamma. Mitts, flute, mirror. There's so much density south, and super easy to get back to. And Fire Rod's probably south, right? And then you can maybe do Skullwoods all at one time, because this was like super free early on. Like, here's a Tempered Sword in Kakariko, and that's about it. but yeah, like, I don't know. I usually like the Skullwoods play there, but just so many things stacked up, it just didn't feel right. So, that's how it goes.
Yeah, I actually thought you were gonna hit. I knew Gamma would skip Skullwoods, but I thought you, Dante, might have made that Skullwoods play. But you ended up both routing pretty similarly through the entire race. Each one of you made a couple skips. Looks like, Gamma, we have a question in chat from someone named Lin Naya asking, why did you skip Dark Cross?
I was looking back through my VOD after, because I was sure I got all items, and that was just a map sitting in Dark Cross. And I felt like an idiot afterwards, like, oh my gosh, that was actually an item I left behind. I would have just gotten it right before I did the Aga play.
Mm-hmm. And then, Dante, any thought of doing Basement of Hera?
It came up in my head, but I was like, man, if this is like the map or whatever, I was like, I'm gonna feel awful. So I was like, if I lose because of this, then I'll just hold my head high and say, screw it. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't want
actually
to do it for a 50-50. You know, if it was
yeah.
a guaranteed item, maybe, but a 50-50 just, I don't feel that great.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised to see Gamachu do it.
I
Oh, you
mean,
did that?
yeah, I'm like, gosh, if it's an item, if it's required, like, for Dark World Access, I'm gonna elastocate this so hard, and it's just so disgusting to come back to. So I just wanted to play it a little safe. But I skipped out Eastern, just kind of thinking maybe Dante will clear that, hopefully to buy me time to do this check.
Mhm.
But it just felt pretty gross. I'm glad it was an item, but, it was just garbage. So I was like,
Yeah.
ah.
It
Yeah,
looks like we have a. Oh, go ahead, Dante.
I was gonna say I was feeling kind of bad early just because of some very easy things you could do just to optimize your routing a little bit in that seed. And I was usually I like to make like an early game skip of Old Man if I have flute, just because if without a lamp, just because of Inamizer can be a little unpredictable, especially with the hard flag turned on. And if I'd have done that the first time, I'd have saved a mountain trip, a mountain climb, just so many things that were weighing on me going into Aga already. It was like, we did this, and then we did this really inefficient, and, um, I don't know if how Gamma routed it. It didn't feel great, I guess is a way to put it, as far as like my early game routing. And I felt like, we cleared everything, and the mirror was kind of the incentive, like we're just doing Aga, and
Yeah.
Eastern can die as long as there's something in pod.
Well, let me ask you both that. Was there any temptation to go independent Eastern, especially with the bow being and the lamp pretty early? Was there any temptation at all to go into Eastern for either runner?
When I first got the bow, I think that's like one of the first things I did before I even touched Kakariko, and I didn't even have fire, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna touch that right now. If I did, it probably would have been after Aga, because Aga was in my mind right after I full cleared Hera, so I'm like, I'll do Desert, and yeah, I'm just gonna go straight to Pod afterwards, and then Mirror to Eastern if I get nothing in Pod. But the myth was more than enough to push me away from ever touching Eastern.
Same for you, Dante.
Yeah, pretty much. I got bow. I was like, all right, pendant Eastern sucks, but we got to do it. And then I was like, I don't have a fire source, so I started thinking really quick, and I was like, it's probably an escape. Let's just it's probably an escape or desert, because that book was weighing on me as soon as we got it. I was like, let's go see what desert has, if it has any goodies. But it didn't. And then I think I left an item in desert because of how bad I was feeling. I was like, I think I'll gamble on not needing an ice rod late game. I was like, I was kind of thinking maybe Gamma would make the same play. I knew so many bosses. I'm pretty sure Gamma did too. Because compasses were popping up left and right. But it felt really weird not getting your first crystal until like, I don't know, 50-something minute mark. It was so awkward.
I didn't realize that was the first crystal when I got the bombos. I'm like, wait, I potentially hit go mode and I don't have any crystals at all.
Yeah.
Were either of you worried about the ice rod showing up?
Yes. There was no way I was gonna go out of my way though. I was just gonna open chest along the way, and that's it. I'm not gonna go out of my way for doing one-off checks just for the ice rod. Just kind of hoping for the best, because if you had done Skullwoods early on, you get the hammer, you pretty much get everything you need on the mountain. You get hit go mode fairly early on, and I was just not feeling good with the late Skullwoods play.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess same. I just my plan, like when I got to GT or whenever I got to a point where it was like, all right, Trinex could be here, like more dungeons that were ticking down. I think I didn't know the Mire, Desert, and Skullwoods. Obviously, Trinex can't be in Skullwoods, so it was like two really unknowns. I guess like my gut was like, I'm just gonna dive swamp. Like as soon as I see it happen, I'll get the item in the dungeon I'm in, and then I'm bailing. Like, and then that was like my hope, I guess, or like Hail Mary. If there was a Trinex in GT, like I saw that ether pop up. I was like, we're not going to TR. If there's the Trinex, we're going straight to swamp. Like, stick to the plan. So I was not really feeling good in GT, but I figured, we were talking in the race time room. I figured he didn't get boots early if if he's not done when I'm entering GT. So I was like, maybe I got a shot, but I don't really feel great.
And then Gamma, I don't think I've ever seen you done this route where you do Hope Room, No Key, Stalfos, Mir. What did that play?
Oh gosh,
Is that
you
because you were
know,
playing Danthe, or?
no, because I never do that. But I'm like, if there's like a nice Trinex sitting there in the Ice Rods and Compass room, I'm gonna feel terrible. So just get that in case it is a big key, but the Ice Rod is also weighing on my mind, just in case.
Just Blaine route.
Yeah, that's. I thought you were gonna. I actually thought you were gonna go all the way to Rando Room and then Mir. And
Oh
so you
no, there's no way I'm gonna go there early without the Ice Rod. Just when there's Rando room sitting there, like nah, I'll just cover what I can.
No,
Honestly.
like you go Hope, No Key, you go
Uh-huh.
all the way to Rando Room, then Mir and do Compass.
Oh no, I considered it, but no, I want to get everything out of the way early on. Once I hit GT mode, I kind of had the same thought as Dante. Like if he didn't finish by the time I hit GT, that means we probably did a similar route, more or less. Because he definitely would have finished before I even touched GT if he had touched Skullwoods early. So I just kind of hope for the best, really. And I think I think at least last time I saw him do a race versus me, he did hope DM strats. So I just wanted to cover my early checks in GT basement.
All right, so this guarantees a game number 4. We've got game number 3, of course, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern with Relkin and Ramond. Any thoughts about game 4 from either team?
Still not sure. I think I might be doing that game, but still not sure. I got to talk with my teammates, see if they're probably up to wanting to
You're
do
not
that.
sure? You're not sure?
Not sure. No, not sure.
Okay.
Here, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could change, right?
Uh-huh.
It's
So you're open to do game 5 then, Gamachu?
that's still in talks. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Sure. Dante, game 4 for you guys?
I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens when it's on schedule. It's their pick, so it should be fun. I know they won't pick anything too crazy because we already did Randomizer. But yeah, we'll see how things go.
Do you
Hopefully
know who's going to play your game 4 yet, or you guys have to figure that out?
I mean, we have a plan. I mean, do you want me to come in here and talk a big game, like everybody else?
That's what we're here for. Yeah.
No, we just chat. We figure out how we're gonna do it. We stick to the plan, play to our strengths, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
So you do have a plan. So you guys already know who you're running out for game 4, as the Skull Kids already know who they're running out for game 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are dancing around it like you don't know who's playing game 4. I already know who's playing game 4. I'm just trying to get you guys to admit it.
I don't like speaking for other people.
Oh, you mean your team? Your team?
I don't like I don't like speaking for my team ever.
Okay. All right. Well, GG's to you both. Claremouse, did you have any questions for either of the runners?
I was actually just wondering if there was like a mode preference, I guess. Between Swordless and what were the other two? Ambrosia and MC Shuffle.
Yeah, Gamachu, what are you gonna pick for
That
game
sounds
4?
like fun modes. But as I said, it might be somebody else, Shireen or Ramon, playing game 4. But I was kind of actually expecting Swordless this time around, so maybe probably just throw that for game 4. I don't know. That's what I would think my teammates would say. Pick.
Dante, what went into choosing Randomizer against Gamachu?
Well, I was hoping for just something difficult. This is not a crack on Gamma or anything. I know he played really well in the latter Swordless, so I didn't really feel like that would be any form of an advantage. I was feeling kind of confident with this mode. Obviously, didn't work out today, but that's how Rando goes. So I feel like I played well, except for that Ganon fight. I just didn't play good enough.
Yeah, you both played really well.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think also like the Randomizer portion of the seed didn't actually really play that, it didn't really have much of an impact, other than you guys basically claiming your first crystals at like the 50 whatever mark, right? Basically.
Yeah, I mean, I played one the other night, and just because with all the holiday stuff, it was like I hadn't touched like rando, and I was like, I need to play just to make sure I'm not rusty. And like I ended up with some like sword mode thing, like 7 crystals, GT cleared, don't have a sword. What do you do? So it was a good test, you know, to find a sword to kill Ganon. But you know, this time it was here's 3 in the first 5 minutes. Have fun. Bosses are now easy, and yeah, it was fun. It was nice and easy.
Well, maybe we'll get some swordless going on for our next game, though. Actual swordless, as opposed to, you know, we did find a sword until GT type of thing.
If I had to guess, I would wager MC Shuffle, but who knows? We'll see what Gamma picks, and we'll see how it goes. But like I said, good luck to Ramon and Relkid tomorrow, and big GG's to Gamma. I knew he owed me one, so I am not surprised at this result at all today.
Yeah, it's kind of been fun going back and forth here with me and Dante, but you know, maybe you should step it up for game 4, Dante. You know, you might end up taking that next win. You know, just saying. But yeah, GG's to Dante as well, and good luck to both Relkin and Ramon tomorrow's race. That'll definitely be a fun watch.
Yeah, it'll be really fun to watch that, as well as Gamachu versus Nip in game 4, and Shireen, Ramon, Relkin, and Dante in game 5.
Oh, and thank you guys too for also doing commentary, Fury Agent, Clear Mouse, and Bandman for doing tracking. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we really appreciate our trackers. Thanks again to Bandman for doing the tracking. Yeah, GG's to you both, and good luck at the rest of the series. I really do hope we see a game 5, just because, you know, it's fun watching you guys play. And
yeah, no, this
you guys put on a good show.
this team matchup is really incredible. All of the games, regardless of who's playing whom, is going to be just really incredible to watch. Thank you, Dante and Gamma, for basically running this. I mean, this was a pretty exciting race, honestly, to watch. So it's really glad to be able to see you guys and showcase this.
Yeah, thanks for the volunteering, commentary, and tracking, all that. Basically what Gamma said. We really do appreciate it, not just as the player side, but also the admin side. We need volunteers as well as the players. So always do appreciate it.
Yeah, you don't get much better than Claire Mouse on comms too. So it's a pleasure to do comms with Claire Mouse again on a really fun race.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see everyone tomorrow for the Ramon Relkin race here on SpeedGaming. It doesn't have a channel yet, but it'll be 11:10, I believe, Eastern. You don't want to miss that. Going to be some cross keys between 2 of the best cross keys runners. So, all right, Clear Mouse, close us out.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I want to just echo everything you say, and yeah, thanks again, Dante and Gamma, for running this. Thank you, Bandman, for tracking. Fear, always a pleasure. Always really looking forward to these commentary sessions with you. So certainly a lot of fun. And yes, on the schedule is Relkin. Yeah, I think it's the only thing on the schedule is going to be Relkin versus Ramon tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. We are expecting I think at least a game 4, I want to say, from the other side, which is Pug Trio versus the Spoilers. But I think those games just need to be scheduled. So definitely keep your eyes on the schedule. And until then, have a good rest of the day.
Bye, everyone. Go Hawks.